Welcome back, Seth Bling here. Today I've got a really cool tip for map makers. It's a way to create a completely invisible force field. You'll notice I'm not able to walk off this platform, and it's invisible so you can see through it. It's even better than glass because, you know, glass has this annoying texture in the default texture pack. It's also better than glass because if I'm in adventure mode, let me switch over to adventure mode, I can't actually break through this, whereas okay, I have to go over to the other one. If I'm in a glass prison like this, and I'm in adventure mode, I can break through it because adventure mode lets you break certain blocks even with your hand, which I'm not too fond of, but this force field is a good way around that. And it's kind of tricky how it works, but these are doors. You can see there's the little wireframe around each of these door blocks. Now, at the first level here, there are some doors. There aren't any at the second level, and then up at the third level, there's some more doors here. These are iron doors, and that's why I couldn't punch them out, or you can't right-click to open them or anything. And so yeah, let me talk about how this works. I actually discovered this from my upside down or flip structures filter. When I applied this. So you'll notice in these doorways there's actually kind of some doors here. You can hear them if I right click. They're opening and closing. What happened is the top half of the door and the bottom half of the door are distinct things. So here we've got a bunch of bottom halves of the door. I've arranged them in a 5x5 grid using MCEdit. You can see I can open and close each one independently. At the top there's a bunch of bottom halves of the door that are invisible. Now here's what's going on. When you have the bottom half of the door and it doesn't have any door above it, any door block, it doesn't render. So for instance, here's another door. This is the top half of the door, or the block ID for the top half of the door, and this is the block ID for the bottom half of the door. So I can kind of control these independently. You can see the wireframe, but it's not getting rendered. So So then over here, I've got another, hey chicken, I've got another set of doors. This is actually in a checker pattern if you see as I move my cursor over all of these door blocks. And I can't walk through it, and these are iron doors. And that's exactly what I've done up here on the platform as well. So in order to make this work, I just had to make sure that basically I just copied the lower block from these doors and put them into the positions up here. You can't have two door blocks next to each other. So you can't make this a solid wall because if you try and make it a solid wall, this is what happens. It actually renders most of the doors. So that's why I have just the bottom layer here and then the third layer here. And if I wanted to keep going higher, I could do the fifth layer, and I would just do every other layer with doors. Or you could do a checkerboard pattern or whatever. It's just important that you don't, because it's just important that you don't have a door block above another door block, because it will always render at least one of those. But cool trick for map makers. This does require MCEdit, of course. This is not something you can do just in your survival world. You'll need external tools, but it's just as easy as just copying half of a door from one place to another. So very cool, and I like it a lot because I feel like it really restricts my abilities as map maker that players can punch through glass, and see it's hard to let them see something without giving them access to it, but this definitely helps a lot, and especially because you don't have that ugly glass texture in there either. That's about it. Thanks for watching.